Chris, and this is my aftermarket steering wheel installation video. So I bought this for my 1972 Volkswagen Beetle. When you're doing something like this, you have to read these instructions. You have to understand what's going on because we're gonna make the horn work. I hated aftermarket steering wheels growing up because every time you'd get a car with one, the horn would never work. But what do? They put that little stupid button on there. I hate that button so much. The 71 steering wheel has that classic look, but it's supposed to be different. And I'm not trying to get into that kind of stuff. So I know it looks a little goofy at first, but this is gonna look really good on the car. The Beetle has standard steering, so we need a big diameter. It's 14 3/4. Really cool, has an old-timey look, but at the same time, it feels way better than any steering wheel I've ever felt on a 1972. The Forever Sharp brand, aluminum hub piece, a cover, horn stuff. I think it said it had a chrome and a black horn button. We're gonna do something very cool with this horn button. Let's check the other one out. We can experiment with this one for sure. Okay, so then with the chrome horn button, so this is the actual old style horn button, and I want to stick it on this one. So we're gonna do the experiment on this one. I'm gonna Dremel it out. So I'm gonna have to cut it perfect. We got a little lip on there, and then set it in there and glue it, epoxy it. The whole thing is the horn button, so it shouldn't matter. So I just trace that out on a piece of paper, tried to center it with a Sharpie, just cut inside the lines. Gonna figure out how to grind that back. I'm gonna try with this. I don't know yet, but we'll get it cut out. So I got the tripod in there. I cannot get it to film right here, so I'm just gonna hold the phone. We put our first piece in there. Now make a note, we are gonna be running the wire outside because I don't know how to run it through this column yet. We need to test it out first. Have to take this apart, but we are gonna make the horn beep and show you how to do that. All right, so 72 Beetle, Forever Sharp steering wheel thing. There's a C-clip on it, so it bottoms out right there. That's installed. So you actually want to clock your steering wheel. It may not be perfectly straight up and down. So steering wheel clocked. So these little strips right here on a painted wheel are conductive, and they're going to ground your horn out. The problem is that they didn't put them in the right place. So what you want to do is those three dots that stick up, you want to go ahead and get a Sharpie and mark those dots on the other side. Okay, notice I got my knees. I'm propping the steering wheel up. So there's two positions this can go in, and neither position made contact. Those dots have to come in contact with those strips, and those strips have to come in contact with the washer in the center. So this one uses this type of lock washer, and they got that one almost right. So we need to go ahead and fix those strips. We have our steering wheel clocked in there. We're gonna put it in there like that, and we see where the dots are. So we need to make the strips go from there to the dots. You can use any type of foil tape like this. They sell it at the store, or try to reuse your original ones. Let's see if we can reuse these. Oh, cool. Maybe we can just reuse it. And then we're gonna put it like this. Somebody's probably like, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. You know, well, the instructions don't tell you nothing. So that's how I'm gonna do it. So you get the idea. Let me go ahead and get this positioned. All right, now with the tape in the correct position. So put this cover piece next. Now you see the dots while we marked them. Look, they actually come in contact with the strips now. Now we need to put this contact piece in and bend that up a little bit. We're gonna attach the horn wire. This one is going to ground out. Beep, 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 beep. So once all your horn contacts line up, get this piece off. Oh man, get the washer. Remember, it needs to come in contact with the strips. So the kit comes with a thinner nut. You're gonna have to use a thinner one. I was trying to keep these little bolts in here so we could line it, keep it lined up a little bit. All right, so just jiggle it around, make sure it's not in a bind, nothing's rubbing. Go ahead and tighten it down. Pretty tight. Bearing in there, something screwed up. We'll mess with that later. So we got the meter on continuity with the diode. We need to make sure these things are making contact. All right, no resistance. So our strips are now grounded. So then you want to tighten it to where you can still spin these. That might be a little difficult. So now you want to put this piece in, make sure you have it lined up where it's going to touch your contacts. That's why we put the dots on there. Looks good. Remember to bend that little terminal up. That's where we're going to attach the ground wire. So go ahead and screw these all the way down. They're going to stop on their own. So there's a hot wire that goes to the horn, and then it goes through the horn, comes back over here, and this is the one that grounds out in the steering column. It would have came in through there and then grounded out right here. Now I know why they had that button in there now, because the contact points in the steering wheel or steering column were messed up. So they never had a horn in the steering column, and it forced them to put the one over there. So don't hate me, we're not wiring it up in this video, because I got to figure out how to get that wire through that little hole and all the way to there, but through the car. And I've never had a Volkswagen before. I don't know where it goes. So ignition's on. I want you to see how sensitive this thing is. That's how come those strips are in there. Look. Gonna hold it down. Okay, all right, that's too loud. You see that everything works perfect. Now the way this works is it has a spring that holds it up with the center cap. That is another problem you're gonna have, is I don't even know what holds this spring in there. I'm sure on some cars it'll stick in there, but it's just kind of floating around. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get this spring in there. At the same time, there's 3 indentions on the cap, and it's gonna pop in, and then you're gonna slide and lock it in place with that spring in there. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that before you see the fancy cap that I made. All right, so we got it in there. The way I did it was with the scissors. I stuck it in the far end of the spring, got it started, and then lifted it up. And you can see how beep, 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 beep. Be super careful. Once you get that thing on there, it can be super difficult to get it off. Okay, see, the spring's in there. So you can't find a stock steering wheel for one of these cars. That right there looks way better than the stock steering wheel and way better than what was in it, but wait for it. Watch this. All right, you see what I did there? That looks freaking awesome. It came out perfect. It actually looks better on the black one, but I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it on the chrome one for right now. So this is the original emblem you saw earlier. I got it from J-Bugs. And I just carefully, it took me a long time to do that. I am not gonna lie, because you have to carefully do it so you don't overdo it. But there's an idea. If you get this wheel, you get the black one. I was gonna paint this for the video, but I don't know, something's just telling me to leave it chrome for right now. This is 100% my idea. I made it up, so you can use it too, but share it, but just give me credit for it. It takes time to come up with stuff like this. So now we have an aftermarket steering wheel that looks like it could be factory. It feels way freaking better than what was in it and what's factory. And we also bought that kit. We're gonna do a video on wrapping the steering wheel with the leather stuff and give it a really good feel. So there you go. Steering wheel is completely installed. You got an idea how to run your horn button. Everything was a complete success. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.